bidding wars, French chateaux, and doggy dementia. Are you ready for a wild ride? Welcome to the Giggles and Shit Show. In this episode, we're talking about the chaotic hunt for a new home and how I almost ended up with two houses, pet heartbreak, and a $12,000 dog surgery that'll melt your heart. Dreaming of retirement on a private island with your besties? Why Gen X women are tired of the bullshit and just want peace. And honest talk about midlife, loneliness, love, and letting go. It's real, it's raw, and it's relatable AF. If you've ever had to eat cold pizza in a giant Tiger parking lot with a 15-year-old dog and a cranky cat, welcome home, sister. Hi, I'm Jill Button.
And I'm Diane Cross.
Welcome to the Giggles and Shit Show. So this is our first episode. Diane and I actually came up with this idea, our origin story, while having coffee, giggling our asses off, talking shit. And we thought, wouldn't it be great if we could actually share this with all you women of a certain generation? The trials and tribulations of mortgages, kids, grandkids, and
aging parents
and husbands. And so here we are. There's going to be a lot of giggling in this show. So this is our first show and we've got some things to chat about. So recently for me, as nobody really knows, I actually went through the process of selling and downsizing. For me, the whole idea was to be able to move outside the city, be able to buy a house that had a basement apartment for the kids, so that they can save for a house because mortgages are ridiculous and housing pricing is out of reach.
Insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How else are your kids ever going to get a leg up?
I know. Well, that's the thing. I mean, notwithstanding that I miss my baby.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah. I mean, my daughter lives about an hour and a half from where I live today, and it's funny because when I go to visit her, I go at least once a month, and when I leave, I go through a full-blown depression.
Oh,
I know it's hard, but it's crazy because every parent goes through the same thing. Did you have the same issue when you were leaving?
My kids never really went that far, so okay. I'm fine. I could call Evan tomorrow and say, "Hey, do you want to have dinner tonight?" If you don't already have plans, because he's only in Pickering. He's a 5-minute drive away.
Yeah.
He doesn't often enough, but he could. Mm-hmm. So I think that's where it doesn't affect me as much. Mm-hmm. I loved being an empty nester when he first moved out of the house. I was sad that they were going and thought it was a bananas time to move out of the house because it was in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
But he and his now wife got a little apartment in Pickering, and luckily they got into the rental market when they did, or else they never would have been able to leave.
Yeah, I know.
They got crazy. A really great deal, and then now they've recently purchased a house and they're doing fine, but they're going to still be in the same town as me.
So I never expected that. Not that I don't love my kid, because I do. I love her. She's my baby. But I really never expected to miss her as much as I did. Mm-hmm. And because she's an hour and a half away, it's not like she can just pop in. You know what I mean? Or come over for dinner like your son. But it was...
You have to have plans.
You have to have plans, yeah. And like if I go and spend the day up there, I literally have to plan to spend the day up there. And I mean, I think in one way it's good because I actually have to, you have to be present when you're doing that because you got to make the most of your time. You're taking your time, specifically to go up there. And so we do spend good quality time together versus
nice.
If she was just popping in, it may not necessarily be good quality time, but yeah. So the story of buying my house. So again, we decided to leave where we live and have lived since I was 14 and my husband was 15 and have known you as long.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So Peter's been in this town, so Ajax, since he was, I believe, 7 years old. So leaving for him was a really big deal. And it is a big deal. It's a big deal for me as well, I guess, because, I've lived here since I was 14. But I guess I really wanted to move outside the city. Less traffic, a little bit more of a slower life. Not that I'm retiring. I'd love to retire, but can't afford to do so right now. The idea is to get it little more property, a little more space, and to have a space, that basement, for Shannon and Wyatt so they can save to buy a house. And I had, we went through some pretty crazy situations when selling this house. So your real estate agent tells you you must be available for showing. So it doesn't matter that I have a 15-year-old dog who's, not necessarily got a ton of life left in him, but imagine trying to get your 15-year-old dog out of the house. There was one particular instance where I'd sort of had enough. We had been planning to be out of the house for, I think it was like 8 o'clock, which into itself was pretty late for a showing.
Yeah.
And the people who were coming to see the house were coming from, I guess, far away. We were planning to be out of the house from 8 till 9, and they didn't show up until 9:15. So of course, you get these little electronic alerts on your phone saying that it has been rescheduled. Meanwhile, we're in the driveway, ready to go back into the house, only to find out that they hadn't even been there yet. We hadn't eaten anything. It's 9 o'clock at night, and we were literally eating pizza in the parking lot of Giant Tiger with two cars parked beside each other, an old dog, and a cat.
Oh, that's awful.
It was not enjoyable. So
No.
it's really stressful selling your house, but thankfully we did. Buying the house was way more stressful than I ever thought it was going to be. So
No, it sounds like so much fun. House shopping, right?
yes.
Who doesn't want to buy a new house?
Yes. So you texted me and like, oh, that's the fun part. And I'm like, not really. Trying to find a house, it was ridiculous. Like, it's unusually hard to find a house in the area that we're going, which is in Aurelia. Yes, it is sort of the gateway to Muskoka. But in our first house, there was a bidding war. So there was multiple offers on the first house.
Right.
And we didn't want to overpay for the house, because if you overpay, like, this is not the pandemic, people.
Right.
Why are there multiple offers? We didn't want to overpay, and we got bid out, of course. And I was thinking, okay, it's just, I always say this, it's not meant to be.
Right. Right.
Which Peter hates. He's like, oh, mumbo jumbo. So the second house comes along, and it was nice. And that also had multiple offers. And by this point, I'm starting to get pissed. Yeah. And also a little bit of panic, because our house closes at the end of August and we're now at the end of June. And I'm thinking, 60 days, we're probably going to be able to make do. But if we don't find something soon, to get a really quick closing is going to be challenging. So again, I'm sort of in panic mode. I'm doom scrolling realtor.ca looking for any house that we could possibly buy. And this beautiful house comes up in an area that I absolutely love. And it online looked beautiful. So the very next morning, I go out there, meet my agent. Shannon's with me, my oldest daughter. And we walk through it, and it looks nice. It's not exactly what I would like, but the property is beautiful, incredibly private, 2 acres. So it was gorgeous. Work to do on the basement to make it an actual functioning basement apartment. And so I'm calling Peter, and I'm like, we have to put an offer on this house right away. You need to go see it tonight. And he's like, nah, if you like it, if you like it,
oh yeah,
I'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm like, no, you have to go look at this house. He's like, no, I can't go. I'm tired. If you like it, I'm sure it's fine. Shannon like it's fine. So fine. We put in an offer, and of course, I get a message from my agent. There's another offer. So I'm thinking, multiple offer situation again. I don't want to lose this house. I'm going to be fucking homeless.
So you would never have been homeless. Let's be clear.
I'll be moving in with
right. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So she messages me, and she's like, you really need to put in your best offer. You've got another offer that you're competing against. So I'm like, okay. So we put in an offer that was pretty aggressive. It was actually over the list.
Right.
And we thought, like, not a tremendous amount, but we thought, okay, for sure, who's like, we're going in that list. We're getting this house. We can't lose this house. Don't want to be homeless. And then I get another message. There's another offer. There's now 3 offers, including ours. So, of course, I'm like, Peter, we got to put a bigger offer. We can't afford to lose this house. So we go like 25,000 over list. And I'm thinking, for sure, like, what the fuck is going on, first of all? Like, why am I in a multiple offer situation on 3 houses in Aurelia in this market? Like, what the hell? And so we go in a little bit more and then another offer. There's now 4 freaking offers on this house. It's beautiful. Like, let's be clear. Yeah. It's gorgeous and it's in a beautiful area. And so I go in at like $75,000 over list. It's the most I want to spend for this house. It's at the top of my affordability range and my comfort, like, holy shit range. And we get a notice the next morning. We got the house.
Hurrah!
Yay! And then she calls me and says, and oh, by the way, remember that house, that first house that you really, really wanted? The deal is falling through.
Oh, so now what do you do?
So now what do we do? Meanwhile, Peter hasn't seen this first house. We bought a house. He has not seen this house. So, and then he's like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. We got to look at this house. So we go and we look at the house. And I'm thinking he's going to love this place. And he's like, I don't like it. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Are you kidding me? The one that you have purchased.
The one that I have literally purchased. That I have asked him
to go see. Yeah.
To go see. That he said, I trust you. If you like it, I'll like it.
Oh, no.
He doesn't like. So we're sitting there, and the first house, the offer hadn't fallen through, but it was shaky. There was a bunch of shenanigans going on with the purchaser. Had they bought it from us to begin with, there would be no issue. So we're literally sitting in the seller's house, this house that we have bought sight unseen by Peter, that he now says he doesn't like. And my agent is like, are you kidding me? Like, you really don't, he doesn't like this house? And I'm like, he doesn't like the house. And she's like, oh my God, I have to phone to see where this other deal is. And it had fallen through. Like, literally, they wanted to get out of the deal. And I said, I'm not buying, like, listen, first I had no houses. Now I have 2 houses. 2 houses. Yeah. This is getting a little crazy. My stress level is through the roof. And I'm like, I can't give up this house unless that other house is
for sure available.
For sure. And by the way, I'm not getting into another bidding war. So the agent's like, no, they really want to close the deal. You were the other bid on the deal originally. So if we can agree on the price, we're good. So we ended up getting out of the deal, the house that we had bought that Peter didn't like. And thankfully, we were able to get into the very first house. So all this stress, we end up with the same original house.
The house that you wanted
originally. The house that I wanted originally. Anyway.
Well, then that does seem like a meant to be situation.
It was a meant to be situation. But then for me, like, I'm always like, so what was the lesson in all of this? Like, what was it that fate didn't want me to have that house to begin with? Like, what was it? So what it ended up being and why the deal fell through was because it's on a septic system, and their inspector, who happened to be the other buyer's father, noticed when they were doing the inspection that the septic system, one of the pipes had been damaged, and he tried to negotiate for a brand new septic system. Now, this house is 28 years old. Doesn't require a new septic. It's actually not even that old. Sorry. It is less than 20 years old. And septic systems last upwards of 50 years. Yep. And so
just needs a repair, not
it just needed
replace.
A repair. Yeah. So we ended up, going through the inspection. Everything was fine and dandy, some minor stuff. But I think that fate was, had I bought that house to begin with, we wouldn't have had the septic inspected because it's not old enough to worry about.
Right. And then you'd have run into a real shit. Not funny.
So not like no shit. We would have been in the shit because literally this pipe
my God,
that was broken it would have backed up and we would have had sewage in our house. So it would have really been an actual shit show.
Oh my God. See? Fate.
Fate. So fate. I believe in fate.
I guess you do.
Yeah. So we take possession in like 3 weeks. So we're excited. We're excited to
take possession in 3 weeks?
We do.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, we have until the end of August for this house that we're selling, but we wanted to have
the other one's a quicker closing.
It's a quicker closing, so that we can go in and we can do some minor stuff. So
amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having my baby under the same roof.
Yeah.
That's the most exciting
and having
part
that much time to move.
Yes. Yeah. It's like a full month that we have to do.
Not having to do it in one day is a dream.
It is a dream. Yeah. I mean, holy, like, let's talk about moving. You moved into your house. How long have you been in the house that you're in now?
Oh gosh, we're going on 15 years now, I think.
15 years.
Yeah.
Was there, like, I don't know if it's just me, but every time I buy a house, it's a fucking shit show.
Of course it is.
It literally is a shit show.
It's not funny.
It's not funny. The first house, I don't remember, too much about that first house. We were young, Peter and I, when we bought our first house. No kids, no issues. The second house was in the middle of, do you remember when the Mel Lastman called in the National Guard because of unprecedented snow?
Yeah.
We moved into our second house on January 15th in that year. Spectacular.
Yeah.
And we had our furniture and all of our belongings stored in a transport truck because we actually, complete opposite of what we have now, we're not able to get the house when our first house was closing. We actually had to live with my sisters for an entire month over Christmas and New Year's. My dog died. I had a brand new baby. Mel Lastman called out the National Guard because it was the unprecedented snowstorm. And when we went to move in, the people who had stored our furniture refused to give it to us because of the snow. It was literally snowed in. I had to call the police to tell them that my furniture was being held hostage and that I had I think Shannon was like 8 months or something like that at the time. And the police literally had to get involved to insist that the people deliver our furniture. So we get to our second house, snowstorm and all, and the people are still there. They are not moved out. And meanwhile, I think it's like we're waiting and it's like 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night. And we're like, excuse me, you need to be out of this house. I have a 9-month-old baby. I have to get up a crib set up. They were tracking mud in and out of that house. My house was a disaster. When we finally did get in, it was all we could do to just throw boxes into the house, throw a mattress on the ground, and I'm cradling this baby in my arms, crying desperately with mud tracked through my entire house. Anyway,
so you have moving PTSD.
I hate fucking moving. I have to tell you.
Too.
When we bought this house, it was a couple going through a substantial breakup, and they thought we were renovating the entire house, and so had left their dog's literal shit in the house, didn't clean it up. So another shit show. Like, how disgusting is that? You leave your house, like, even if I am renovating, at least clean the house.
Yeah, that's just standard.
That's disgusting.
We bought our house power of sale.
Did you?
We did. So we were lucky because we got a great deal on it. But when we did a tour of the house, it had air conditioning. When we moved into the house, the people had taken the actual central air conditioning unit with them. Oh my God. And not done a fabulous job of where they cut.
Oh my God. Yeah. They stole air conditioning.
They did the midnight move because in the neighborhood that we live in, it was originally a vendor take-back mortgage. So it was, the builder had done a bunch of vendor take-back mortgages for people. And I guess they couldn't.
What does vendor take-back mean exactly?
So the builder basically is giving you your mortgage. You pay them your mortgage fees. And then after a certain length of time, you go to the bank and get an actual mortgage.
Okay.
And then it's through the bank. But the first couple of years of vendor take-back, you're going through either the builder or the previous owner of the house. And they're just kind of floating you
Okay. Okay.
For people that can't actually get a mortgage through a
I see.
regular
So it's
banking
easier for them to get a
institution.
mortgage.
Yes. So the interest rate is higher. And at the end of it, if you can't get a mortgage, you're out the money, basically.
Oh,
So
shit.
these people, I guess, couldn't afford to keep up their payments, and they did the midnight move and just split. We still get their mail. 15 years later, we
I still get mail too.
right? So, but the house was not in bad shape. It wasn't horrendous, but it did have air conditioning when we first did our first walkthrough, and then
Who did you buy the house from then? Was it the vendor that you bought it from? Okay.
Yeah.
So did they end up replacing the air conditioner?
No, we had to buy one.
So when you purchased, did it not say?
It had air conditioning. Yep.
So they should have been responsible.
They should have, except that I don't think the builder at that point, I mean, it was a couple of years old, and their part of the mortgage had already been done through the other previous owners. Yeah. So scramble to find an air conditioner person. And
it's funny because when we were writing up the offer on the house, well, every house, all three of the houses, it said specifically mirrors in the bathroom. So it makes me believe
the people can take
anything, including mirrors in a bathroom. Yeah. It's incredible. Just, I mean, it's a bad situation. Obviously, you've put all that money in. Like the people who obviously were in your house had put all that money in. So they're thinking, fuck you. I'm taking my
I'll get something for this. So at least, that's rent maybe for somewhere else. But
that's a sad situation.
It was a bit unnerving, but yeah. We're in. We love it. I have the best backyard.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Nice. So are you guys thinking of moving at any point, or are you there?
Not until we're retired, I don't think. So we'll probably do some work to our house to make it more ours. I mean, we've been there for 15 years. This is stuff that could have been done.
You've done lots of stuff, though.
We've done the deck, and we've done the hot tub, and we've got the waterfall in the backyard and all of that. But the basement could use a finishing, and another bathroom.
Yes. Well, those are things that add value. So here's a funny story. So when we were looking at the house, the third house that we bought, but that Peter didn't like, it actually had a gorgeous pond and waterfall in the backyard. And so I said to Peter, Derek will be so jealous
of our waterfall.
Yeah. It was really nice. It did have some issues, though. Apparently, it had a hole in it, but they were going to fix it. So, but it was like monstrous. It was like a pool. It was so huge.
Oh, that's nice. I love the sound of running water.
Yeah,
that's what we like about having the waterfall in the backyard.
Yeah.
It's like being somewhere else.
Well, it's funny because beside this pond was a gazebo. And when we were looking at the house, this is before we bought, but the thing that actually clinched it for me was sitting in the gazebo beside the pond, listening to the water. And it was just such a peaceful experience, like having a waterfall, running water. And I said to Shannon, I said, I can't get waterfront. This is my waterfront. At least I have a pond.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the nice thing about being in that area, too. It's less people-y.
Yes, too many people.
Too
people.
But it's going to allow you to have the people that you actually want.
Yes.
In your vicinity.
For sure. So we'll have guests up. I actually so my deal with Peter was if we can't get waterfront, because obviously, giving up the cottage was a really tough thing for me, but we couldn't find waterfront that was going to be affordable for us, or affordable for anybody. I don't know how people afford waterfront. I mean, being in the area that it's in, though, it's, you can't buy waterfront on Simcoe. You can't buy waterfront on Coochaching. It's a gorgeous area. If we went further north, we would be out of the zone of Shannon being able to get to work. She works in Barrie. So trying to find waterfront was just going to be impossible. So the deal was, if we find a property, it has to have enough property that I'm not going to feel like I'm in a subdivision. I've lived, there's nothing wrong with my neighbors, but I do love, the ability to actually go outside your house and not be 3 feet away from your neighbor.
Yeah.
And the deal was that we would have a boat. So my idea is we'll get a houseboat.
Right.
And it will be our cottage. Right. And we'll invite people up. Yourself if you're lucky, and that will be our weekend. So we'll have a houseboat where people can actually stay on it, and we can tour the Trent system. We can go around Simcoe and Coochaching.
That would be lovely.
Yeah. Like,
especially if somebody else is driving it.
Yes. Well, remember, back in the day.
Oh, good gracious.
Yes.
That day.
Yes.
Yes.
So in our 20s, for those who are listening, I was always the travel agent. I was the coordinator of all trips for our 20-something group, which kept growing and growing. So we did 2 tours on two different summers on houseboats. I think the first year it was 2 houseboats. The second year was 3.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. Like, just...
It was super fun. We made some great memories, for sure.
We did, for sure. Some of the best memories, for sure.
Yeah. Got into some giggles and shit, that's for sure.
Some giggles and shit.
Yeah.
And some other shit. It was fun. It'd be lovely to relive our childhood, or at least our 20s anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So tell me what's going on with your life. How are the grandkids?
Oh,
how's the husband? What's happening?
Great. Boring, but great. Which is, honestly, I look forward to a boring lifestyle.
Yeah, for sure.
I have not a lot of stress. I enjoy my job. My husband's all right.
So that's what our generation is about. You get to a certain point in your life. You've had your children. Mm-hmm. Some of us have had grandchildren, which I'm incredibly jealous about. Mm-hmm. Not that I'm rushing, No,
but they are super fun.
They are super fun. But you get to a point in your life where you're just done with the shit. Like, you're done with the bullshit. You don't want to deal with any traffic or drama.
That's the thing. Your 20s was all about how much shit can I get into without getting into too much shit.
Right.
And still have it be super fun and, party, stay up too late. Now, I cannot wait to get home, put on my pajamas,
rip off the bra.
Gone. Like the second I walk through the door, pretty much before I even take the dogs out. Yes. Gone. It sometimes will be hanging on the railing at my front door. So if you come over shortly after I get home from work, give me a couple minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, bra off, jammies on, slippers on, take the dogs out.
Yeah.
Sit down on my comfy couch that I love, love, love.
Yeah. Yeah.
And watch a bunch of crap on TV that
Yeah.
My latest obsession, and it's a long one, it's been a long obsession of mine, but Châteaux DIY. I still watch episode after episode of that show. I feel like, why can't I have enough money
to own a chateau?
Own a chateau in France, southern France, where they get over 200 days of sunshine a year. I feel like I could live in southern France. I would eventually learn how to speak French.
Eventually.
I'm sure. I was terrible
Not
at
like
it in
you
school.
Don't live in a bilingual country.
I know.
And couldn't learn French.
Right?
Like,
my son is fully bilingual.
Yeah.
No. But I want their climate. I want their wine. I want their cheese. I want their bread. And I want to live in a castle.
For sure. Who doesn't want to live in a castle? To be clear. Yeah. I love it. I mean, you were sending me like advertisements of chateaus that were for sale. We can totally do this. One of which I'm pretty sure had a hole in the roof with like raccoons living in it.
Absolutely. So many of them do. But by the time they're finished with them, it would be like a fairy tale. There's this one couple on that show. She's English. Her husband is Moroccan. He's a general contractor. She's an interior designer. They bought this chateau. It has 35 bedrooms, a moat, fairy tale turrets. Oh, I'm not kidding you.
Oh my God.
Not shitting you. There's legit a moat. There's about 4 or 5 fairy tale turrets and towers and all of the things. And they have renovated every room. And now it's the most spectacular wedding venue you've ever seen in your life.
Yes.
And they get to wake up in the morning on the 4th floor of their castle and open the shutters and look out to this expanse of gorgeousness.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But you actually have to have skills.
Oh, yeah. Which I do not possess. No.
And as far as I understand, neither do our husbands. Mine probably less so, unless you're talking about, video games and stereo equipment, of which he's incredibly skilled. And he can read a manual from cover to cover, like literally within hours. So that is a skill unto itself.
It is.
But renovating a chateau, I don't think so.
No. We would have to hire that work out.
Yeah, for sure.
But these places, that one couple that I was telling you about, they bought that place for £500,000, which is about $1 million.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's
But then you have to have the other million to put into
sure.
to renovate
Yeah,
it.
that's fine. Wait, Laura and I were talking last night about what's going to happen when we win the 60 million. So
when you win the 60 million.
yes, of course, because it's coming. It has to come.
Absolutely.
So when we win the 60
if
million,
not me, who?
Well, exactly. I think it's only fair, but that's one of the things that we want to do. So you win the 60 million, you take care of your family and friends and make sure everybody's mortgage free, of course.
Okay.
And then you buy the chateau in France and have somebody else renovate it.
Of course.
You buy the place in Costa Rica because we love it there.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And the other thing was the cottage resort in Ontario. So you buy a cottage resort that has enough waterfront so that if you did want to ever sever it, your friends could each have their own waterfront.
Yes, that's the dream. That's the island that I sent you. Remember the island?
Exactly.
We could sell off like an acre to all of our friends. We could all have an acre and we can all retire on the island.
Yep.
And nobody gets access. So it's just like to come to the island, you don't get on the island unless
you're invited.
You're invited or
yes.
approved. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Again, the whole idea of a lot less people-y,
less people,
but having the people that you enjoy close by.
Yeah. Do you think that ever actually happens? Like, is that realistic? No, I mean, I'm not talking the chateau. I know that's not realistic. But do you think people actually, like, we've grown up, we've known each other for a long time. Like, we went to high school together. We had a circle of friends that we grew up with. And, I've tried to keep the friend group together. We did our cottage weekends where we got into some shenanigans. All fun, giggles and shits.
Yeah.
But do you think that there are actually people out there who, similar to us, have a friend group and who purposefully decide to retire around each other? Or
I hope so. I honestly don't know how many friend groups like ours remain together.
Yeah.
For as long.
Yeah. I'd like to be closer. I feel like, we're close, but we don't talk to each other all the time. That's one of the reasons why we wanted to do this show.
Yeah, exactly.
So that we could, stay connected. I do feel, this is a bit of a different topic, but I do feel a bit lonely. Like, do you feel like women who get to a certain age who, you've raised your children, you're in a certain, time in your career. I think I've spent a lot of time building up my career, being an entrepreneur, just working 24/7. I feel like I've lost a bit of connection with my friends, and I do feel this sense of loneliness. Does that resonate?
A bit. And I think part of the reason that's so disheartening is because you put in all that work in the expectation that it was going to give you more time to spend time with the people.
Yeah.
And then when you have the time, you don't spend it with the people.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And it's I think it's something that a lot of Gen X women feel and get to a point.
Sure
it's like you said, you get to a point in your life where you're kind of done with the shit and you're looking for the peace and tranquility.
Yes.
But it also means that everybody else is also done with the shit and looking for peace and tranquility. And that may not include you.
Yeah, perhaps. Perhaps. But yeah, I do know what you mean. It's sometimes possible to feel lonely in your own house with your own family.
Absolutely.
Have different interests, honestly, my husband is a sports fan and puts the fanatic back in fan. He is a fan of all of them. All of them. It's baseball, basketball, hockey, football. Wow. So there is no season where there isn't a sport on at my house.
Yeah.
Which is how I end up going down the rabbit hole of YouTube and end up on Châteaux DIY or all of these fantasy things where it's, I'm not hearing my husband screaming and yelling at the TV at the coach because he thinks he is the coach. To the point where when Evan was 3, Derek was yelling at a hockey game and Evan came into the living room and said, "Dad, they can't hear you, right?" Which is still, something we bring up occasionally.
Yeah.
But yeah, and in that instance, I do feel a bit lonely in my own house sometimes.
Yeah. I guess that's probably a phenomenon a lot of women feel with husbands who are so, whether it's golf, like a lot of women are sort of golf widows. Yeah. or sports. I'm lucky. My husband does not, he is not a sports guy. So he doesn't necessarily yell at the TV or enjoy sports per se.
Yeah.
But we got into a bad habit, I think, of actually having our own separate spaces. And it's really, I'll have to take some responsibility because my husband likes to talk through shows. I don't know if your husband does this, but I'll be watching a show and he'll be like, who's that? Why are they doing that?
And if you take the time to explain it to him, you've missed the next part of the conversation.
Exactly. So I'm like, thank God for pause TV. Yes. So I'm pausing it and I'm explaining the situation. Anyway, it's gotten to a point where luckily we do have our own, he's got his man cave, which is great. I've got my own women's den, which I can watch my shows. We do have common shows that we like to watch together. But I do think that there's that sort of, when I do want company, he's in the middle of a video game. He's a big gamer. Like, that's okay. I don't begrudge him that at all. It's, you know, he's got a man cave with, you know, all kinds of games. That's his thing. And I appreciate that for him. But there are times where I feel like it'd be great if we could actually have a little bit more. Like, wouldn't it be great if we could go golfing together? Do you guys do anything together? Like, what is there a thing that you do together?
Literally nothing. No, it's not an exaggeration.
So it's not just us.
No. He talked about, Derek did for a while, said, you know, we should both learn how to play golf because sometime we're going to be retired. We're going to be 70-something years old. And if we aren't doing something outside together that's some form of exercise, we're never getting off the couch. And he is correct. The thing is, I don't have a competitive bone in my body.
Neither do I.
I could care less who wins, loses, draws, any of that for any sort of, not when on game night. If we were to play board games together, I will give you the answer before having anybody be upset about it.
I totally agree. I'm the same.
So I don't see how golf is my thing because I'm never, I guess maybe golf.
But golf
thing because you're competing against yourself.
Exactly. Right. I was just going to say that. You're not competing against who you're with. You're competing against yourself because you're trying to better your score. I used to golf, like when I was like back in the day, I would get invited out by vendors all the time to go golfing. And so I felt compelled to learn how to golf. Never learned how to golf well. But I do enjoy hitting that little ball really, really hard.
Do you?
And that noise, like that little ding. There's something about that noise that's satisfying. I have a little bit of
anxiety that I'm not going to hear that noise. It's like, I'm going to swing for the fences and miss the ball entirely.
Yeah.
And have that embarrassing moment that, you know. Hopefully.
Let's go golfing together.
Okay.
Well, we can both be bad together, and then at least we have at least got in some practice. So, good friend of ours, Sherry, and her husband, Larry,
are both very good golfers.
Very good golfers. Have both had.
Don't make me go with them.
Multiple holes in one. So I said to Sherry one day, I'm like, we should go golfing, and she's like, okay. Not that she wouldn't golf with me, for sure. She would golf with me, but
maybe not at her club.
No, it would be some little 9-hole.
Well, and here's the other thing: where do you go golfing? Because there's always going to be people behind you.
Oh God, that's stressful,
right?
Yes, I know.
It's like driving. I look in my rearview mirror to the point where if Derek's in the passenger seat and I'm driving, he'll say, "I'm going to rip that rearview mirror." Because I look at it so much, worried about the people behind me.
Yeah.
Am I upsetting somebody? Am I going too slow? Am I taking too long to make this left-hand turn?
No way.
So golfing would, I'm sure, give me anxiety.
Yeah.
With people coming up behind going, oh, are you kidding
me? Can we
right
play
now?
through?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I always get a cart just for that very reason because I don't enjoy walking, number one. But I also don't enjoy people who are, you know, unintentionally or maybe intentionally, you know, trying to impress upon you that your game needs to speed up.
Well, let me tell you, if I miss that ball as much as I think I'm going to miss that ball, I'm going to be a very slow golfer.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad idea.
Yeah. I love the idea. Yeah, I love the idea of golfing because, like you, I would like to be able to golf with my husband. My husband's not a horrible golfer. He's not, I don't think he's, I mean, I don't know. I've never actually golfed with him before. But
I have actually golfed with Derek once.
Have you?
I have. My sister-in-law and her husband were staying at the Deerhurst. and they had our son for the week. So we went up to meet them, and they had paid for actual golf lessons at the Deerhurst for the four of us. And it was one day, it was the only time I think I've ever hit a ball in my life. I did actually hit it, just to be clear. I did actually hit the ball.
That's good.
Yeah, but of all places, to have your first
Deerhurst.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Derek and I and Dawn and Terry played one round of golf once about 1 million years ago.
Peter refuses. He will not golf with me.
No. He knows.
He knows.
He knows.
Yeah, sometimes I think I embarrass him. I don't know. Does your husband do that? Does your husband, if you're with another couple, shush you or...
It's an I shush.
Is it?
He would never outwardly, out loud shush me, I don't think, in front of people. But I would see the look on his face from wherever he is and know that means, oh, for the love of God. Stop talking. Actually, a good example of that, I got a little tipsy a couple New Years ago.
There's usually alcohol involved.
Yeah. Well, I can talk at the best of times, but having a couple extra...
Which is why this show will work.
Right. But I realized, I didn't realize, Derek pointed out to me the morning after that at one point I had my girlfriend, Lori, we were sitting in bar stools talking to each other, and I apparently didn't take a breath for half an hour, nor did I let her contribute at all to the conversation that I was having. So he pointed this out to me, and ever since then, it's stuck in my head, especially when I've had a couple, which is not very often, but I have to put it out there that if I've had a couple, I gotta reel it in, make sure, did that person talk at all during our conversation?
Did I let them
the other person say anything in the entire time that I was talking? And if they haven't for a fairly long time, it's time to shut up.
Yeah.
Or look across the room and see the look on Derek's face that's telling me,
look for the eye roll.
Shut up. Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a few things that, I mean, I love my husband, and I feel like he's like in his own way trying to look out for me. But I really don't like it when I get censored by anybody, least of all my husband. And I, like you, can absolutely talk, and I have, made my living talk. I mean, I negotiate for a living, so arguing is what I do. And I like to have debates. I mean, your husband and I got into it one night, which we won't get into, but I do like that debate. And when I do get into that sort of debate conversation, Peter will interject and not shut me down, but will try to steer the conversation in a different direction to try to, basically get me to shut up. So that bothers me.
But in your best interest.
I think it's in my best interest.
I do too.
But at the time, again, usually with alcohol involved, I don't necessarily see it as my best interest. I see it as somebody trying to shut me up, and it pisses me off.
Yeah, I think with Derek as well, because we've had conversations about that. If I'm out somewhere and happen to look like I'm fading, because I do know that I snore like a banshee. And if I do actually fall asleep on a couch somewhere at the cottage or whatever, because it's 3:00 in the morning and I should have gone to bed 2 hours ago, he'll wake me up.
Yeah.
And people around go, what? Why are you doing that? She's fine. But he knows that I would be mortified
if you were caught snoring.
Me snore. Yes.
Yes.
So it is with good intentions sometimes.
Yeah.
As annoying as it is at the time.
Yeah. Well, I don't fall asleep generally. It's usually the talking situation that gets me in trouble.
Yeah. Well, shutting us up is shutting us up one way or the other, right?
So recently, I guess not that long ago, you have 2 little dogs, one of which is a wiener.
Yes, my little sausage.
Your little sausage. So we both have dogs. Mine is 15 years old and going through some challenges, but you went through a pretty traumatic situation with your dog.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
So Hannibal is pure miniature Dachshund, and they have a propensity to have bad backs. We've always had ramps for the bed, and we've always carried him up and down the stairs and to prevent this from happening. But they do, because their backs are so long and they have the same number of vertebrae as other dogs, it just leaves that much more space in between the vertebrae to cause slip discs.
Yeah.
So it's called IVDD, and it's very prevalent in Dachshunds. I think it's as high as 1 in 4
really
have the possibility of having IVDD. So back in December, we were at home, went out for the regular pee and poo in the morning, came back in the house. He was fine, sitting in the living room. I called him to come into the kitchen for a treat, and he didn't come, which was when I really knew
something was wrong.
Something's very wrong.
Yeah.
So I went to check on him. He was completely paralyzed in all 4 limbs.
That's crazy.
With no traumatic injury, no, like, hadn't fallen off the couch, hadn't jumped up the stairs, hadn't done anything. Was just... So rushed him obviously to the emergency vet in Whitby, where they had a look at him and said, nothing we can do for him here. He needs a neurologist. So drive him from Whitby. And they told me at the Whitby vet, when you go, there is a possibility if he does need surgery, it's going to be between $9,000 and $12,000.
Wow.
At which point I phoned Derek from the car and said, okay, I'm going to Scarborough. This is what they've told me. Are you okay with this? And there was a bit of a pause. And I thought, oh, if he doesn't answer this correctly, I don't know how the rest of this relationship's going to go.
So let's be clear. Dogs are, they're family.
Oh, 100%.
And I know how you are with your dogs.
Yeah.
It's like I am with mine. Mm-hmm. I mean, thankfully, you know, some people have the wherewithal. Not everybody does. So thankfully you did. So how did the conversation go?
So, yeah, he took a breath and then said, no, of course, whatever he needs, just go do whatever he needs. So he was at home with our other dog. Otherwise we would have gone together.
Yeah.
But Khaleesi was already in a bit of a state that I had taken Hannibal out of the house without her. So yes. They're high maintenance little dogs.
Yeah, but she probably also knew something was going on, right? I mean, they've grown up together. They've been,
been together since we got her at 10 months. We got him at 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And they're about a year apart. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so got all the way downtown, had the MRI. Of course, they said, yep, he does need surgery, and it's going to be about $12,000.
Wow.
Are you okay with that? And of course, we did. So had the surgery, and what it is they have to take out, it was a ruptured disc, not just slipped, it was completely ruptured. So they had to remove the disc entirely and then pin some things together, and then had to learn how to walk all over again. And it was a couple months of physiotherapy and walking him in a stroller.
So much to the point where you actually took time off work to be able to be there for him 24/7. I think that is true love for sure.
I was lucky enough that...
Would you do that for your husband?
Oh, be real, Phil.
Oh, sorry.
But I was lucky enough that I've been in my position for long enough that I had a lot of vacation time.
Yeah.
And it was close to Christmas. So I had Christmas break as well. So I ended up being home for about 3.5 weeks.
Wow.
And doing 3 times a day physiotherapy, moving his joints and walking him in a sling. And it was intense, but he is fabulous now. He walks like a dream. He's so proud of himself. He walks with a swagger like you wouldn't believe.
He's a special little dog. We've had him at the cottage several times. Got along very well with our dogs as well. Yeah. And he's just the most curious, going concern.
He's tenacious.
Yes, chasing frogs, chasing squirrels,
chipmunks,
gophers. Yes. Well, thankfully he's on the mend.
Yeah,
that's good.
Bless his little heart.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, it's amazing for you to actually be able to do that for him. You know what I mean? To support him through that. My dog is 15, and we've had our challenges. We had 2 dogs as well, Luna, as you know, and then Rory. And there was sort of the beginning of the issues started when we were at the cottage, and we got there pretty late one night, and both dogs were outside, and it was dark. And the next morning, they started to throw up, and like this is the Giggles and Shit show, shit all over the house.
Oh,
So it was a mess, both of them at the exact same time. I figured they get into something
Yeah.
or they ate something, whatever. Luna was actually the worst of the two. And then we ended up taking them to the vet. A little while later, we were at the cottage again. So we were thinking something's happening at the cottage. And Rory this time ended up having vestibular
Episode.
Yeah. So it's like vertigo for dogs. And for about 2 or 3 days, he was spinning in circles, couldn't stand or walk, wobbly. It was traumatic. I mean, we had to use you know, a sling and then help him down. Now, thankfully, he actually came out of it. And this was all within the span of a couple of months. And then uh, a little while later, again, Luna's still fine, but Rory is continuing to feel, there's something going on. And he ended up, one of the major signs is always if your dog is sick, he's going to stop eating,
right,
drinking, or pooping, or the poop is, I mean, it's amazing how we go from looking at our kids' poop to looking at our dog's poop.
Yeah, it's true.
Just, Is it a good solid poop? It's going to be a good day.
Nice and normal. Yes.
Yes. To this day, I'm still looking at my dog shit. Anyway, so there was obviously some signs that he wasn't feeling well, and we ended up taking him to our vet. And like you, were referred to the emergency vet because his levels were so out of whack. They felt like he was in like liver failure. So they ended up giving him these really strong antibiotics, and within a couple of weeks, his liver levels were still elevated, but were coming around. So we're thinking, oh, thank God, And meanwhile, he at this time is, I think, 13 years old. Luna is 10 or 11. I can't remember which. And this is close to Christmas. And in January, all of a sudden, Luna starts acting like she's, again, not eating, etc. And she's in liver failure. But unfortunately, even though we tried, she wasn't able to come out of it. So Rory, I feel like Rory was kind of getting all the attention and was really where we were focused, trying to get him well, that maybe we missed something with Luna because it was the January following, just a month or two later after he was recovering. And I don't know if we missed the signs, but it was heartbreaking because she was only, I think she was 10 or 11 at the time. And
doubtful that you missed any signs. I think it probably just happened very fast.
I think it did happen really fast, but it was heartbreaking, and
it is
losing her was really difficult. And Rory, he's survived. He's been around since that time. I think it's been like a year and a half. He's now 50, just turned 15. And
it's very old.
It's very old for an Australian Shepherd, for sure. Yeah. But you know what's really funny? It's not funny, but it's kind of funny. I've never experienced an old dog before. Like all of the dogs that I've had, and I've had many in my entire life and multiple Australian Shepherds. I've never experienced a dog that was actually who lived long enough to go into old age. Like his hearing is going, his sight is going. And he's got doggy dementia kind of, right? Because he's like wandering around. I think a lot of it has to do with his sight. Like I'll find him in the laundry room, like all of a sudden, or in the corner, and he can't figure out, like under the plant, and he can't figure out how to get out. And it's just been, I love my dog, and it's just been it's been a difficult experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, thank God we love our dogs.
Yeah. They're very lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think it's difficult to have pets who go through that aging process. Like Peter feels it more. Like it's not that I don't feel it deeply. I do.
Yeah.
But I'm also very pragmatic. I know that dogs only live a certain amount of years and you have to enjoy and love them while you have them. Peter, it's trauma. Like it's deep, deep trauma. So, I feel like losing our previous dogs as quickly as they did because they, one had liver failure, one had cancer. Ozzy, our first Australian, had cancer, and that was a pretty traumatic experience for us.
Yeah.
But this has been different because we've had 15 years with him, and we've sort of saved him from all of these mysterious illnesses and near liver failure. And to see him get older and sort of go through this, old age, like he truly is a cranky old man.
He's geriatric. He is.
Yeah. I mean, he's gotten to the point where he's like, I don't give a shit.
And I might take a shit.
Yeah. Anyway.
Poor Muffin.
So we are out of time.
Oh, okay.
So how do you feel like the first show went?
Great.
Yeah? Do you like it? Do you think is there enough giggles as well as the shits?
I think this one was not as much giggling as I was expecting, but I think there will be.
There will be. All right. Well, listen, for those of you who are tuning in for our very first show, thank you for joining us. And if you haven't yet, please do subscribe to the Giggles and Shit. And it's Giggles and the letter N, gigglesandshit.substack.com. Until next time, keep giggling.